Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer, a lot of fans around the world have been very excited and eager to see the next set of footage by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is going to be a big movie, as the editor Marianne has said, that they really had little time to work on this film, and that's exactly why they edited on set while they were actually filming this movie, because, well, not only is this film very big, but it's also a very complex story. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming trailer 2 of Episode 9, this is where things begin to get very intense for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of Rey wielding her ignited lightsaber in one hand, while she is described to be hanging on the edge of a cliff with her other hand, where one of the shots are said to include Kylo Ren standing above Rey at the edge of the cliff, with his ignited lightsaber and sticking his hand out towards Rey, almost as if he is asking her to join him again. The sequence is described to take place in a rainstorm, where Kylo's face appears to be sad with his hair wet and blowing in the wind. The next goes over a scene in which Kylo Ren is said to be leading all 6 Knights of Ren while they are on their speeders, where it's said to be a profile view of Kylo and the Knights speeding through a mysterious world full of trees, where one of the sequences involves Kylo firing his blasters from his speeder at something. The next goes over a moment where Kylo and his Knights are in a standoff with Rey, Poe, and Finn, as well as Dominic Monaghan's character, as well as Jannah, where it comes off as a western, the way it's shot in the middle of a desert. The last describes a sequence where Rey jumps off of a tall, ancient structure and swings while grabbing onto a rope, where she makes her way down on the rope next to what appears to be a 100-foot tall Jedi statue that appears very similar to what was seen in Jedha and Rogue One. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that this movie really is going to make the relationship between both Kylo and Rey very complex as rivals. Now, we do know that Kylo Ren obviously is going to be fully embraced with the dark side in the first and second act of this film, and Rey is going to be on the path to becoming a Jedi, or whatever that is going to be in this movie, since we do know that there is going to be a new order of some kind that Disney and Lucasfilm are building towards that goes away from the Jedi Order. So with that being said, the one piece that really stands out to me a lot here is where Rey is said to be hanging on the edge of a cliff. What world is this on? Is this the same exact world that we saw in the first teaser trailer, where we got to see the Death Star wreckage, just in the middle of the ocean? Or is this perhaps the location of the First Order headquarters? Now, we do know that there are going to be 2 lightsaber duels in this movie, one of which is going to be a more physical battle, the other of which is going to be the flash fights, and the flash fights are going to bring us from all of these different iconic and familiar locations of the Star Wars Skywalker saga into one big epic lightsaber battle. So I would like to believe that this does in fact take place on the world in which we have the Death Star wreckage in the background. Now, the other piece that I do want to go over involves the moment in which Rey is actually said to be jumping off an ancient structure and using a rope to swing her way across and climb her way down next to a 100-foot tall Jedi statue. Now, without a doubt, this most likely is the lost city that we have been talking about for so very long now. The Jedi statue, however, is said to appear very similar to the one that was seen in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story on the world of Jedha. You guys may recall that in one of the scenes for Jedha, you do see a Jedi statue that looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope, collapsed and just laying on the ground. It's said to be somewhat similar to that. And the other piece that I find very intriguing as well is where we have this Western vibe going on between both Kylo and his Knights and Rey and her crew. So we have Kylo and the Knights of Ren on a desert world confronting Rey, Jannah, Dominic Monaghan's character, and even Poe and Finn. So what I like about that is that we do know that J.J. Abrams, at least for the desert world, a lot of those sequences are going to be heavily inspired from a lot of popular Western films out there. Keep in mind that this whole entire movie is not going to be like a Western. It's just going to be dedicated for that planet and that world only, which is called the world of Pasaana. So, very interesting, I must add, because you can really see how JJ is really drawing from a lot of the classic movies and using that as inspiration in order to tell a very unique story in Episode 9, to give us different tones in a Skywalker saga film that we have never seen before on the big screen. Now sure, Solo a Star Wars story tapped into the whole Western vibe, I get that, but they never did that in the Skywalker saga per se to this level, so it's going to be very intriguing to see how this is all going to play out. Now, aside from that, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, ranging all the way from the confrontation between both Rey and Kylo, and the cliff scene, and of course the large Jedi structure and what the significance of that really could be, as well as, how JJ is really using a lot of Western inspirational pieces for the desert world of Pisana. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding on the one. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.